Can we be done now?
So, welcome to the first annual cross.
Don't annualize.
Are we
this.
are we doing this every year now?
Cross podcast joint show between the Pop Collectors Alliance and the one and only Talking Pops, aka Josh and Mike,
This is technically our third one,
and
right?
aka Sean and Piper.
Sean and Piper. Okay.
Sean and Piper, Rick and Piper.
That's
AKA
great.
Josh and Mike. Don't you remember yesterday's joke? They do. So
I don't think that was a joke. I think that was you being an idiot.
that was us introducing ourselves. You guys want to introduce
Sean and
yourselves?
Piper, Rick and Piper.
Since we're
That's great.
Piper, you can take it away.
Don't you remember
What?
What was that zip? I don't like that.
What?
Is there a zip?
I don't know. It sounded like somebody made an unzipping sound.
That was definitely me.
Definitely Piper. No,
Yeah.
this is Rick and Piper. Glad to be back. We did Emerald City Comic Con. Where else? What else did we do?
The panel.
That was
The
Emerald City
panel?
Comic Con.
No, we
that
didn't
was
do a
Fan Expo
panel.
Dallas.
That was Fan Expo
Oh,
Dallas.
that's right. We did Emerald City too.
Yeah, remember we went up to that
I-
sketchy hotel with these two?
Honestly, I don't remember. That's why I
Sketchy
asked.
Hotel.
It was a dope AF.
That was a businessman setup, dude.
That was right. That was right. That guy kept checking on Rick. He's like, "You good? You need anything? Need any water? Any buffet items?"
Yeah, he's like my servant, my personal servant.
Should have
There, he was throwing roses as I walked into the room. Yeah, so this is Rick and Piper from the best show ever called Pop Collectors Alliance, and we're on with Josh and Josh from Talking Pops.
See, he got you back.
Yeah, but it made fun of you. That was the whole point,
I don't want to be Josh. I'm way cooler than him.
I guess. So as Rick said, this is our third attempt at trying to do entertainment content for all of our listeners, crossing the two shows together. It's kind of our year-end shebang, if you will. Will you?
I will.
Yeah.
What do you
You know what I
you
mean.
can't just talk and not say anything.
Are you sure? Because I'm staring at you who've exercised for 10 minutes in the first year and you are just in pain.
I got an elliptical and I can't walk.
Yeah,
It's bad.
That's what people do, man. They
man.
exercise.
I don't know how you do
What
it.
did you try to go on a walkabout when you were in Australia? And then you're like, man, I need to exercise.
No, I was just in the 101 degree heat and wanted to die.
But
So
you
you were in
did 20
Australia at
minutes
the
on
same time?
ellipticals. No, I did not go to Australia.
I
Unfortunately, my trip
thought
was
you were going to be
canceled.
there. Oh, that's a bummer.
Yeah,
was
what
awesome.
happened with that?
Canceled.
You were making a big production about, oh, I'm not gonna be able to record no podcasts for 6 months because I'm gonna go live in a hut. What was that? What happened with that?
Well, I did. I lived in a hut in my backyard, like camping when you were 6 years old with your parents in your backyard. That's what I did. I was busy all the month of November. No, but
Seems that way.
so elliptical. So your glutes and your thighs are burning right now.
No, it's just the front right above my knees.
It's just the
part-
front
Your
area.
hamstrings, you idiot.
It's the hammies, guys. It's the hammers. The hammers are
Oh
down.
man.
The hammers have fallen.
Oh man,
You've never exercised. Give it 2
I
days.
run on a treadmill.
But that's not the same. Give it 2 days and you'll be good. And then you can keep going. You'll be
You
fine.
keep pushing it. Are you doing it with resistance, or are you just going straight right now?
It's just regular.
Oh no.
It's just regular, no resistance.
Well, you
look
got to
at me.
start somewhere.
Oh man, I don't know
It's
if
a
I
good
want to
feeling.
talk about this anymore.
You'll be all right.
I'll be all right. I took 8 Tylenol.
You're not
What?
supposed to do that.
You're gonna
Like-
kill your kidneys.
What do I need them for?
You don't need Tylenol just because your muscles are sore. That's a good thing. It's
No,
good for
you
your
take
body.
Tylenol to not feel anything.
You take Tylenol when you have a headache. You don't take Tylenol when your hammies hurt from exercising for the first time in 2019.
Yeah, it
That's
does.
not how it
And-
works.
And you take 8 Tylenol when you never want to wake up again.
I took 4 and 4. It wasn't 8 at one time.
He's
Okay.
popping Tylenol like it's hydrocodone.
Oh man, don't think I didn't make sure that I didn't have any of that.
What are you drinking there? Looks like a Kool-Aid jammer.
It's an O'Doul's.
not. It's a Angry Orchard
Oh, it's a
rosé.
Seagram's. Seagram's for him.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
It said rosé.
Didn't we have that at that way too fancy restaurant in Texas?
No, we have margaritas, dude.
Why are you busting on you guys can't get over the fact that I chose an awesome restaurant and you just give me all this nonsense about it.
Wait a minute. Which one are we talking about?
The one where
We're talking
all
about
the
the-
ladies with the fancy hats?
The dude's backyard?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, no, that wasn't cool. I like the Mexican restaurant Rick took us to. That wasn't bad.
Yeah, that was pretty dope.
Papacitos.
Yeah,
where
it was
where you
good.
got in trouble for throwing away a box.
I hid that. Yes, I did that well though. I played that off well.
I found this
the
box
plan
in the
was
parking
executed.
That was dope.
And he let me put it away. But much like 2019, lots of craziness this year. We just wanted to recap what we liked about this year, some of the things that stood out to us amongst collecting. I mean, this for me, we could go a little bit wider in the collecting realm because we started collecting other lines. I don't know if you guys do Tiny Ghost or Fig Pen, but
Josh does fig pen.
2019 is the year that Josh started and stopped collecting fig pen. Funny enough. Because we were all at San Diego together, right?
Most of us.
No.
We yeah, well, that was the joke.
All the
so-
important people, I guess. were there.
So we get up super early on Friday morning. I get down there at like 7 a.m. and I was like, I'm getting the gold freezer today. And wait in line, jump in the line, go down to Bait.
Jump in line.
And Bait's like, yeah, we sold them to all the people that can't walk. And I'm like, cool, thanks. Then I stopped collecting fig pen, and here we are.
we sold them to all the people that can't walk. You forgot to mention half the people that had booths in the convention too.
Yep,
Yeah.
you are right.
Yeah.
You are right. But yeah, that we didn't really branch out into any new lines. Mike, you got your Dorbs going. That was kind of not a new line,
I
but
haven't
Did you
gotten
just
any
start
Dorbs.
collecting Dorbs?
no, it's just like
No.
one and done for him. It was
I bought all the Rick and Morty Dorbs
and
Okay.
Scott Pilgrim.
and Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah.
And I got the one big custom Nerdist Mega Dorb. But other than that, I got all the Overwatch fig pins
Yeah.
and I got all the Overwatch Legos.
Oh, Legos. You started going ham with the Legos and Overwatch
The
stuff.
Overwatch Legos.
Dude,
Yeah.
I just
wonder-
picked up the two of the Overwatch Legos the other day because they're
Which one?
the Widowmaker versus Tracer and
That's a
then
good one.
the Hanamura because they're both being retired. So I grabbed
Oh,
them.
really?
Yeah, I got one for like $9 and the other was like 12.
I got all but two of them when GameStop started doing those mega rando drop sales. Where it's just like random percentages off weird things.
Deal of the day.
Deal of the day. And one time it was 60% off Overwatch collectibles, and that counted for Legos.
What?
So I got literally all but Gibraltar and the Hanamura one.
Yeah, it was crazy. 60% off.
Gibraltar's the big rocket, right?
Yeah.
So Walmart has that on clearance right now. It's like normally $90. I think they have it on clearance for 60.
Lego stuff never drops like that.
It never does, but it might be because it's Overwatch.
Well, and it's because they're retiring like half the line.
That's a bummer. I hope they make more. I like it. I got another.
I think they will. I think they will.
Dalatov.
Yeah, with the Overwatch 2 hype coming.
Yep.
So you said Tiny Ghost. How was that been?
Oh man.
Yeah.
It's getting expensive because like all the ones that we're getting, like, we talked about this last time on our podcast, but all the ones that we're getting in the States are good. But the ones that are overseas, like the Asia exclusives, are amazing. And I can't afford them because to get them
Oh, yeah.
shipped here from like Taiwan, it's like $120, $150. So it's like, if you want the cool stuff, if you want to be one of those cool kids, then you got to get ready to shell it out.
Yeah, I think that one of the great things that Tiny Ghost has offered us this year, though, has been sort of brand loyalty and the way that they honor sort of their followers. It's smaller, they can do that, we did the Tiny Ghost Party at New York Comic Con, which was really cool. And then along with just getting started in that, and then Fig Pen, I'm kind of slowed a little bit down on getting those items just because of that same experience that we had at San Diego Comic Con. It really turned me off of.
It was brutal.
That whole thing, yeah. Not that it's Fig Pen's fault, because look, everybody, you have to learn, I guess, for lack of better terms, what the convention and how exclusives are handled there, and you don't really know the demand. And I could almost assure you 100% that they didn't know what the demand signal was going to be. It wasn't supposed to be that crazy for them, because, I mean, it was not just what you said at the bait booth, but even at the Fig Pen booth alone, people were sprinting.
So, and that was something crazy that I 100% agree with you, because I don't think they didn't expect what the blow up is going to be. They gave them that little booth in the middle of an aisle, in the middle of everything, and they were breaking their line like 6 times around corners, just to try to get through the line as best they could. Yeah, and I agree. It's kind of the experience. You know what you're at, and maybe next year San Diego I'll have a chance.
I blame Yoko.
Yeah,
It's okay. It's okay to blame everything on Yoko.
She knows. She should know better, right? She
really should.
I think
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know, for Fig Pen, for me, just because of, I think, the like release scale that they're doing or they're shooting for, I'm being very selective on the things I'm picking up.
Yeah, they're kind of finding the demand too on their product in general, because if you look at GameStops, they have just sucked in that product. They're all over the shelves there. ThinkGeek too. I was looking at it this weekend, and it's kind of trying to let it settle to where it is. But I mean, with Pop, Pop is their primary collectible product at the ThinkGeeks, and then I've seen shelf space go, a ton of shelf space there go to Fig Pen.
yeah, especially with the video games.
The thing Fig Pen did that kind of put me off to him, and it's
on
not
to him?
no off. It's not even something I collect. It was a Dragon Ball Z Ferrera Market exclusive that they sold 1,000 of, and they're like, you know what? We're gonna put out another 1,000.
That was hilarious.
Oh, the second volume or edition.
Yeah, the second
Yeah.
series of 1,000.
That I don't like that they're doing those. Like,
Yeah.
it's cool for people that don't care about collectability, but I mean, at the same time, if you want something that's like 1,000 piece, there better only be 1,000 pieces.
Their responses were the best.
Yeah,
They're like, well, what does this mean? We're like, well, this is the second wave.
this is the second wave of 1,000.
They were so passive aggressive about it.
It's LE 1000, but for the second time.
Right.
With an asterisk.
But I would say, what are you guys, speaking along the lines as we're alluded to some convention speak, out of all the conventions that you went to this year, where did you have the most, what was the best convention that we attended this year?
I think
of us.
Texas.
Dallas Fan Expo.
Dallas Fan Expo.
Really?
was
The
awesome.
best.
Yeah.
Yes.
No.
Yep.
Here's what I could do. I could walk down the aisle.
Yeah. Oh, hey, let me do this. Turn.
Oh,
And-
I'm not the fattest guy here. That's dope.
It wasn't even because it wasn't packed. It was still, we were there on Saturday. It was packed.
Yeah.
But there was good breaks.
Mhm.
You need to shut that off. There was good breaks. And all the famous people there.
Yeah. The celebrities were
Sean
great.
Schimmel,
It was
Chris Sabat.
Yeah.
I waited for
John
like
Barrowman.
10 minutes to see Sean Schimmel. It
Yeah.
was dope.
I don't know who that is.
Shut up.
Who is that?
Yeah, and then the panel too. Sean Schimmel was Goku.
The panel was
Goku.
Goku.
Well, all those guys live in Dallas anyway.
Oh, okay. What was your favorite?
For
then,
Sean.
Piper?
I'm just saying that. That's why. Shut up.
No, man.
No, but I think that Dallas was there. You're exactly right. The panel, for me, I would say that Dallas was the least stressful of all the conventions because we could actually go there and let loose. We didn't have to cover content.
Right.
We could have a good time. We weren't, and then all we had to do was the panel, and the panel turned out great. I love the panel.
We had a
Same.
good time.
Same.
Whataburger.
Oh yeah, Whataburger. You can't beat that. That was dope.
You know Piper's gonna say something.
What's your
Say
favorite?
something about Whataburger.
No, honestly, Piper,
Whataburger-
what's your let's- let-
Whataburger is like Wendy's, and Dairy Queen had a baby in a dumpster. It's
Yeah, perfect.
Oh.
So what's your favorite? What's your favorite fast food burger?
My favorite fast food. You know what? I'm probably the weird one, but I really like Burger King.
No,
Burger
Burger
King's-
King's legit.
Burger King's pretty good. Whataburger's just better. Anyway,
I guess 'cause
So-
it's something we have, and it's like a rarity for you guys.
yeah,
I
that's
get
what
it like
is.
twice a year.
That's what it is. Yeah.
I risk the toilet situation when I fly through Dallas.
So what Piper, Rick, what were your favorite conventions for this year?
My favorite is always Emerald City. It doesn't matter. It's like being home. That's what it is for me.
I would say Emerald City, but dodging homeless people to me was
That's a
it's
sport
like
right there, man.
it's an urban safari. So no, I would say Fan Expo Dallas is probably my favorite. I had the most fun there.
Yeah, cool.
Just from the standpoint of there was no pressure, and we could actually enjoy the convention.
I thought it was really. I felt like I don't know. I felt like a celebrity. We had a lot of people that came to our panel. Like we packed
Right.
that room, man. I don't know. It was a wild experience.
Even though they cut us off.
Those jerks, yeah.
That was crazy. That was pretty funny.
I would say though, I did like Emerald City Comic Con the first time we went. I think the first time we went, it was way less big, way smaller.
Yeah. That's the time I met you guys. Yeah.
Yeah, the
Yes,
first time
yeah.
we met. It just seemed like you could like walk
Enjoy it.
and enjoy it.
Yeah.
Last time was a little rough.
So with that, just a follow-on question: do you guys think next year? I've seen sort of a downturn in projections for next year. The guests aren't as good. Do you think that next year it's not as big as this year was, or do you think it continues that upward trend?
I hope it's the same and not any bigger. You know what I mean?
I don't.
That's what I hope.
I think it'll be less big. Yeah, I think we'll see less people and even less everything in the show itself.
They did get a lot of the guys from a lot of the characters from The Boys are going to be there.
Oh, I love that show.
Yeah, that's a great show.
Yeah, did you guys see the trailer for season 2?
The trailer was
Yes.
good.
Yeah. Oh man, that's just a good show too. I wouldn't mind that. Getting some autographs from that cast. But
And it's going to be that situation too. They said they're going to come out with The Boys pops, but they're not going to be ready in time. Just like
The Office.
The
from
Office,
City
you
Lights.
know,
The
they
Office,
they
yeah.
announced The Office, and Rainn Wilson was there, and like they just weren't done, which is a
so
bummer.
what you need to do is go to Toy Fair, and then take one off the shelf.
Yo.
Hey Sully, look over there right quick.
To be honest, I was very surprised at the lack of security.
There was nobody. They were like,
Yeah, I
"Don't touch
know, I
anything,"
saw this.
touching stuff all the time.
Yeah, people picking it
Yeah,
up,
don't-
Hey, don't take
Looking
pictures
at
of
it.
these.
put her on their knee taking pictures.
They're posing them all together. They're setting up little movie moments in the background. Yeah, yeah. I was. You could just walk right into that booth. Every other booth, like if you went to Mattel, they're like, "Where's your invitation?"
Yeah.
I mean, what do you
yeah.
mean?
We
Lego.
tried.
And
Lego,
then
they have boarded up.
Ryan's toy review rolls in there. They have an 8-year-old kid. They give first access to every toy that they have in there. For us, we're getting turned around at the door. It's like, look, dude, I just want to see what you got.
Nuh-uh.
Just let us see it. Yeah, we were only in Toy Expo for literally like 3 hours, I think.
Yeah, it wasn't long.
But we snuck in, I guess. Like like the floor was supposed to open at 9. We were there at 8.
Yeah, they let us in.
Yeah, we just walked in. I mean, I guess that's white guy privilege, right?
Yo,
You just walk anywhere like you belong there.
walk with confidence. You'll get anywhere you need to go.
Yep.
Oh, that's true. Like if you just look like you know what you're doing and you have that fast-paced walk, of a businessman, and you just walk through. Like no one's going to ask you any questions. We did that when we were at New York City Comic Con.
I was about to
Same
say,
thing.
that was
Just walk
like,
right in there.
It's just like at New York where there's just like a lady turned around and then you just kept walking past her and then she turned around and caught me. She's like, "Where are you going?" And I was like,
My buddy's over there.
Just carry a ladder everywhere.
He needs his medicine.
Two people carry a ladder somewhere. You always think you're going to do maintenance.
You can get in anywhere
Sir.
as long as two people are carrying a ladder. That's right.
Where are you going, sir? November.
Your mom's
That's a
house.
month, sir.
Don't worry about it.
Oh yeah.
So
No, go ahead.
no, good. Go for it.
No, I was just following along that same line with Toy Fair this year and Funko. How many lines? What's your over under on Funko total pops? Let's not do lines.
Total pops.
Total
I'm gonna
pops.
say 132.
Total pops
Total pops.
That's not a lot.
Yeah.
I think this year was 2,000.
that you bought?
No, that they're going to show
No.
at Toy Fair.
Last year was 175 new
Oh,
items.
I didn't know
that
it was
they
that
announced.
high. 231.
I think it's gonna be lower. I think it's gonna be lower this year. I'm gonna
Lower?
guess $150.
How about you guys?
I'm going to go with 10,000
10,000.
because
That's not
that's,
even
that's a
We're
realistic
doing
number at
prices,
this
right?
point.
Price Right rules means I win so far.
$1.
One.
No, I think honestly, I think that number is somewhere around. I was going to say about 185 is where I think it is. I think it's
Yeah.
about the same as
Sounds
last
right.
year.
A little more.
Little tiny growth or something. Maybe they introduce a new product. Do you think there will be new products introduced?
I do.
I think there probably will be. They got to be careful. They got to do something weird.
I think
But pop based.
here's my thought. Something more food. I think we're going to see something else food wise that is weird, a little wacky, a little off the beaten path, but it's pop related and it's something food.
I would like to see something like, they got those 18-inch Batman now. If you put a lamp in that thing, it'd be dope. Just a lampshade coming out the top.
Funko,
Cool.
Funko furniture.
They did that at one point. I'm pretty sure they made a Funko lamp, and they did make
They-
a Funko Bluetooth speaker that looked like a Batman pop.
Yeah, it's a Batman. Yep, exactly. And they did the lamp too. Yes, you are exactly right. I say that I'm going to go contrarian here. I don't think that they release a new product. I think they expand on a current line. Something that Piper and I have talked about on our podcast a lot, I'd like to see them do is not just the movie moments or pop towns, but for example, we always talk about for Game of Thrones, if they did a Game of Thrones pop, they would do like the wall, but they'd have little pedestals where you could stand pops on the wall. So almost like their own display sets.
Pop
Oh,
scenes.
pop scenes,
Yeah.
or like they did, like that Batman layer.
Pop props.
Prop.
Yeah, pop props.
I
would like to see something like that.
I had said last time that they just needed to do vehicles that you can put your pops in.
Yeah, that'd
Like
be
a
cool.
Batmobile.
That'd be cool too. Yeah. Well, they do that kind of already, right?
Well, no, but it comes with it. I mean, I want just like a 2-scale like vehicle that you can put your pop in.
But remote controlled.
I'll do remote control, light up, sounds, fire. I don't care.
Josh is drawing on his mug.
That's good.
So, yeah, I mean, and I think that's along the right path. So, overall opinion of collecting, State of Funko 2019. What is your opinion on where they stand as far as, I wouldn't say one as a collector, two as business.
So collector wise, they've done nothing but try to support anything that you want to try to do. It's really crazy what I don't know. It's
The re-releases are kind of a bummer
yeah.
that they've been doing.
I agree with that. I don't know. I think as a collector, I feel just as good as I did last year. I don't know if I feel worse.
I don't feel worse.
But there's definitely it's a little overwhelming. I think at this point, especially if you were collecting pops a couple years. 2018 was a good year. You're looking at this year, looking back, and like there's so much,
Especially for Dragon Ball.
like there's
They've
a lot.
been kicking Dragon Ball collectors in the uterus.
So that's exactly. Yeah. So the one line that I want to be complete on is just nonstop. Yeah. So, but no, I feel pretty good. I think I think we're going to see kind of more of the same. I think we will see something weird that they announce. We would have never thought an 18-inch was coming. That surprised us. No one ever thinks that from me. I said 18-inch, not 3.5. So, I'm interested to see what this year looks like. I don't know if it's going to be anything better than what last year was. I don't know. What do you think?
I think they're moving pretty good for collectors. Like I said, the restock's kind of a bummer. That DJ Sonya, the numbers were old numbers, so they might have just found some. The glow in the dark All Might seem to be new numbers, so that's kind of a bummer for people who collect that. I mean, not just for people who collect for value, but people who collect to go, I got that one, and here's how I got it. You guys know what I mean? It's not. Yeah. It's kind of like a thing. It's not just, hey, I was real quick on the internet, which is normally how it is anymore.
And that's a Funimation thing. So I mean, I wouldn't put it past them because there's a little bit of shadiness going on over there.
No, not at Funimation.
Yeah.
Funimation's shady. I really didn't know that. I don't know.
I will say, with those Funimation 25-year exclusives, what's been misleading, and I think my biggest lesson learned as a collector, and get back to the topic, but is that if it doesn't have a number assigned to it, expect that it could re-release at any time from now on.
Yeah.
I think that's you've got to prepare yourself for it.
Right.
What else? What do you?
I think as a company, they're doing pretty good.
Too.
That Hollywood store is awesome. I've been there twice so far, and it is nuts.
It looks like it's almost better than the HQ, the way the layout is.
It is. It's
huge.
Way bigger.
Huge.
It's honestly probably 3 times bigger than HQ.
Oh, wow.
And I went there opening day, and it was nuts. And then I went there about a week later, and there was 20 people in the store. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how financially smart it was to open, but it's awesome.
Yeah, I think long-term viability on that is low, right? Because they're just not.
Unless they bought the building, they could have bought the building.
Yeah, that's a possibility.
The building does have a bunch of apartments on top of it and a Shake Shack, so they
necessary.
We
they
own real
could have bought
estate.
the building, and then then they're just making money from the apartments and rent from the Shake Shack.
Here's what I think. I think it's worth it for branding in that kind of area.
Yeah.
How many people, how many celebrities that live in that area that like Pops that might stop in for Brian for free?
Yeah.
That would bring the paparazzi or to bring the people with them. I think that's what a big thing is going to do, because we talked about one going in the Northeast. You have some very dense cities that one in the Northeast would make sense. New York, even Philly, maybe Cleveland, places like that.
Pittsburgh.
No, Pittsburgh. We're not busy enough.
Pittsburgh.
But I think Hollywood makes sense for both the density of people and the chance that you could have, The Rock walk in for free, sign a couple pops, people lose their friggin' mind, and then there's more branding for the next whatever.
Instagram Live.
I agree. That's a good point too. I think branding and licensing is a big thing for that store, putting it in that central location. I wish it would have been in Dallas. I think we make a pretty good case.
Yeah, Dallas
too. Metroplex is pretty huge, but we'll see what happens. Do you think that they open a store in 2020 somewhere else?
No, I don't.
No,
I think we'll see one in a couple years if they keep growing, and I think it's going to be in the Northeast
because those stores can't be cheap.
No, I can't
no way.
Even just
Piper for you. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, we kept cutting them off.
Nobody likes me. It's okay.
I mean, just the Jurassic Park area where they have pretty much a life-size Tyrannosaurus Rex and a life-size Jeep and a life-size Jeep.
Man,
it's crazy. Nuts.
We have life-size Jeeps in Greensburg, buddy.
Not one that looks like that.
Made out of vinyl. Hey, Piper, same question to you. 2019 as a collector, one as a business two.
So I have a very different view on this, but as a collector, as a new collector, I think it's great because there's all this stuff coming out, and your imagination can run wild as far as like what you can get. As a older collector, especially a collector that collects for like rarity and value, it's just the absolute worst nightmare that you could have because you have all these pieces that you may have collected, and Ricky, Game of Thrones. That's all I got to say right there. You have those situations like that, and like Mike was saying about the League of Legends DJ Jim Jam, whatever her name was, like, and then the Glow in the Dark All Might, the same situation. It's like, okay, you worked really hard to get it. I was one of the people that got the Glow in the Dark All Might the first round, that horrible nightmare that was that drop. And I'm super proud of that. And then now they decide to re-release them, and it just kind of screws that whole situation. So values there suck. And then across the board, like if you look at that, values, they're nowhere near where they used to be, like even a year ago. So that's a little sad for anybody that, like I said, does collect for rarity or collects for value. But if you're a new collector, it's great because now you can get all those, really cool pieces at a super low cost. So
right.
I think it depends where you're coming from, your perspective. So for me, sucky. But as far as a business, I think that this next year is going to be a really important, I think, phase for Funko because they're at that point where their stocks shut up. They were like, what? They peaked at like $22 this year?
$33, I think.
33. Okay, there we go. And now they're at what, like right around 14.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's a pretty big dip. And I think that depending on how they handle the situation this year is really going to be pivotal as far as like the pop thing go. I mean, we've talked about before, Funko will probably be around for a long time because they're masters at pivoting. Like something doesn't do well, they scrap it and go to something else. So I think they're always going to make money. They're not going to be a company that's just going to like get scrapped. Like that's just not going to happen. But I think for pops to continue growth like they are seeing now, it's going to take a lot of smart moves and a lot of listening to the collectors, especially the long term or the older collectors, because there's a lot of people that are just getting out of it because of the frustration they're experiencing with like values, with releases, with the sheer volume of things that are being released. So
no, I think you stated that along the same lines as I was going to say too. I think that this year is a pivotal year for Funko in how do they mix mass releases with I'd say nostalgic collectors and new collectors, right? I think one thing that was always strong about Funko before is their ability when they were in a time of slow growth to get licenses that everybody wanted. This year, prime example, they got The Office, right? The Office was a big line that people were waiting for, and they've expanded to other properties, new properties. They had a lot of strong properties this year with Marvel ending. You had Star Wars coming out, a lot of movies that are going to come out that they're not going to see those big name movies in 2020. So they've got to do something that changes, either mixing it up with that, limited edition pieces where you have numbers on them with a good mixture of quality licenses that they can acquire. And then I would say limiting the amount of product they release. Now that's not what stockholders want to hear, but honestly, at the end of the day, when you flood the market and the inventory that you have backlog can't catch up with the sales that you're producing. Well, I wouldn't say catch up, but it's far beyond the sales that you're producing with that, because not everybody's going to want to buy 75 Dragon Ball Z pops in a year. So finding that right mixture is key. Yeah, exactly. And then as far as state of collector, I think this year was a hard year for me. I think that as Piper said, Game of Thrones was really rough for me because I had gotten rid of some of my more expensive Dragon Ball Z pieces to acquire some of the hard to get Game of Thrones, which is my fault. I take full blame on that, but it's kind of disheartening when you spend $500 on a pop that's worth like $80 now. All you had to do was wait 3 months, and that's not Funko's fault. That
No,
is
agreed.
No, that was
Game of Thrones fault, but yeah, I will say that this year kind of I pace myself more as a collector. I think I got a lot of experience, so to speak. I think I'm more careful with lines that I collect, and the only line that we're 100% on or try to be 100% on now is Harry Potter. That's because we've done all the heavy lifting to this day, and now it's just characters that I like from other lines.
Yeah.
So a little bit of time left. I don't want to go on too long. We'll start wrapping things up with what. Let's see. Next year in 2020, I'll let you guys. Can you hear something in the background?
I hear somebody peeing. I think it's Piper filling up that Seagram's bottle.
There you
Again.
go.
No, I'm on.
No,
I'm,
that's-
I'm on to a new one now.
Oh,
This was pear
pear.
There you go. So for 2020, let's do two questions. First question, we'll start for 2019. What was your favorite line and pop of 2019?
favorite new line or favorite continuing line?
just in general.
Just in general, what was your favorite, like what they put out in that line for this year that was good?
That's tough, man.
It's a love-hate for me.
You're gonna have to go first.
It's Parks and Rec. I love Parks
Oh.
and Rec. I love that line. I hate that I got
Into it.
Johnny Karate.
Yeah.
I got Andy Dwyer from a mystery box, or I got Mouse Rat Andy from a mystery box. But I just love every Parks and Rec they put out. It's gotta be my two. I wish they'd put out a second full line. With how well The Office is doing, I kind of hope they do, but you never know.
So your line is Parks and Rec and your pop is Johnny Karate?
Yeah, I think so.
All
I
right,
spent way too much on Johnny Karate.
What a loser. So I think for
You're a
me,
loser.
for me, my favorite line of 2019 is definitely The Office. That's got because
If we're doing new lines, that's mine too.
because Dragon Ball didn't start in 2019.
Right.
So I'll pick The Office for 2019. Definitely. I love almost every pop they put in there. We've talked about it'd be nice to get some new characters.
Yeah,
And not
Thrones.
redos of Dwight's and Jim's, but it is what it is. My favorite pop is gonna be a Dragon Ball Z pop. I think, that the San Diego Comic-Con, the Super Saiyan Ghost Gotenks attack.
It's too many words, bud.
It is
Dragon Balls is too many words.
Here's what's nice about that. Like, what's different about that pop for a person who likes Dragon Ball,
It looks like a sperm.
that it looks like a sperm. It looks like my daughters before they were born.
Gross.
It's so niche. It's so niche. You need to watch that one season, that one episode, and know what that is. It's so awesome. That's my favorite pop.
I think that's a great point too. The Dragon Ball always does that with the Planet Arlia Vegeta too. You have to
The one
know
episode, right? One
that
episode.
one episode
Yep.
for 2 seconds. You have
Yep.
to see it. But that's a good point. Piper, what about you?
My favorite line. I'm super happy with Overwatch because
Heck yeah.
they've done a really good job with taking all the different like skins and turning them into pops, and they've executed very well on them. And it doesn't make me sad when I see a new Overwatch. I don't think, oh, it's just a color swap. They're being smart with their choices on what they're making.
Yeah. They're being great about it. None of them are crazy hard to get either.
No, they're not. And that's one of the few lines that I collect everything from that there's no like crazy rarities.
Right.
And I don't know as far
And then
as,
what's your favorite pop?
man, I don't even know. I really don't. It would probably be something from like My Hero, because they had a lot of really, really cool ones that came out this year. I don't know that I can point my finger on one specific one, but it would for sure be something from My Hero.
Okay, let me see. Let's go with my list. So my favorite line, I'm going to cop out and say, yeah, The Office was probably my favorite line of this year. I think that it's something that we waited for a long time, so I'm right in line with that. My favorite pop for this year is kind of different for me, but I like it because I do enjoy the pop towns. It is the Up House
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, dude.
I like that.
I thought when I saw that when I saw the announcement, I was like, "What? What are they doing?" And then I saw the pop when we were in New York, and I was like, "Oh my god,
was
that's
a
an
pretty
awesome
pop.
pop!"
And it was
Yeah.
huge. How'd you get it home?
It's still at my grandparents' house where I'm at right now. I did not ship it home, so yeah, I have it. I mean, I could go get it right now, but it's crazy, and that's what some my 2019 up. That's where Funko was strong this year, is that they can show us that there are products out there that they haven't they've gotten their feet wet this year, but they could just dive headfirst into, because examples of that pop, the Ghostbusters pop towns, they're the SpongeBob, even SpongeBob in his house, I thought was really good. So I think that's good. So moving on to 2020, what is a line that you would like to see?
I go first.
I know I get to go first.
Come on. No,
Wait,
you
no,
know what?
Piper, go first.
Let them go first.
Piper, go
I
first.
feel like all of us are gonna have the same answer though.
You think?
No, just say it. Go with your heart.
Always Sunny.
Ah, yeah.
That's what everybody is begging for it, because there's so much stuff they could do, and it just boggles my mind. Why?
I'll tell you.
Maybe they
Go
are
ahead.
Maybe they're working on getting the license, and it's
And
just
it
been
could
a
be.
struggle.
It could be. It maybe they wanted to a while ago, and then they're switched from like FX to
FXX.
yeah. Maybe that's what threw a wrench into it.
Maybe.
They could do Always Sunny, just Danny DeVito variants.
Oh my
and I'd be
God.
cool with it.
Oh, so
Andre
good.
the Giant, Danny DeVito.
Dude, the life size 10-inch pop, the 18-inch Danny
Give
DeVito.
him
That's
18. Give him 18.
yeah,
That's the only 18-inch I'd buy. Like, I don't have any of the other ones. That's the only one I would spend money on.
You gotta have
I think I'm a
Green Man.
little. Yeah, exactly. Green Man would be sweet, or him standing in the trash can when he's high on acid. But no, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, what are yours, Rick? Is it the same thing?
No, I would like to see Always Sunny, and Piper and I talk about it, but Piper knows what mine is, and it's been the same for a long time.
God.
This year, I will say, in 2019, Killer Clowns from Outer Space was one of my wants. We got it. I think that was directly from our panel at Fan Expo, because it fits that timeline. So we like to credit ourselves with that, but I would like to see Trailer Park Boys in 2020.
that'd be good.
That's a good one. Yeah.
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 What about you guys?
I would like to see a continuation of Scott Pilgrim versus the World. Another mainline. But I'd also like to see 30 Rock.
Oh yeah,
30
that's
that's
another
a
one I
good
would
one.
love.
30 Rock, How I Met Your Mother continuation of Scott Pilgrim.
Can you save me any?
No. And more Dragon Ball Z.
No. I'm done with it.
I want more Dragon
I'm
Ball.
sick of it. Instead of a Piccolo Metallic, can we get something that matters?
Can we just get a thing of all the balls? Just 6 of them.
Just give me all the balls.
Is that your thing? Because Doctor Who's so great.
Doctor Who's great.
Anyway,
Talking about
of
boring
course,
stuff.
of course, I want Always Sunny. I know Mandalorian's coming, so that's cool.
Yeah. Mandalorian.
And I could probably be okay with getting just Mandalorian and not counting it as Star Wars. At least to
I could get out
myself.
of there.
At least to myself.
I could get
At
Um,
least to myself.
I could get out of there.
But I think it's gonna have to be Always Sunny, because I'm gonna stick with what I want, because when I stick with what I want, it happens. So it was The Office. Now I want Always Sunny, and I'm gonna bank on it.
Come around the train.
That's a good one. That
Don't
would
ride
be
the
so
train.
huge for sales.
Right.
That would be huge for sales. Huge for sales for them. Yeah, I think that's good.
What's a line
I
that
like
you think
where
that
we
they
are.
should stop?
A line they should stop.
Dragon Ball
Fortnite.
Z. Yeah, Fortnite. That's a good one too.
I'm cool
I
with
was going to
both of
say
those things.
Fortnite. Fortnite, yes, for sure.
Cereals, because I have enough.
I would say the ad icons. Like, calm it down.
Yeah, I can say
limit
calm it
those
down.
too.
Maybe don't stop, but like calm the heck down. Before you even have the one pop you want, it's a 10-inch.
Yeah.
It's like, geez, let me catch up.
And it's like Otter Pops, really? Like, what's Otter Pops? I mean, who cares? Like, Otter Pop sells like 15 Otter Pop boxes a year. There's some dude in Poughkeepsie with like boxes in his garage. Like, Otter Pops still exist, guys.
I didn't even know
But
that
no.
that's what they were. That they were just liquid.
Well, okay, so but ad icons, that's like Funko's bread and butter, right?
Oh
Like,
yeah.
So
Oh yeah.
I'm with. It's okay if they do add icons, but they need to number all of them. I'm sorry, like they need to. They don't. We don't need any common releases of ad icons. I don't need Green Bean Giant Man. He should have been. They should only release one. It should have been metallic and it should have been numbered, and then I would be happy.
I like that. I agree.
Okay, let's end the episode with this.
Okay, it's over. Bye.
One piece of advice from each of us to Funko. One piece of advice. If you give them
Two
one
Funko.
Two Funko.
Oh,
two Funko
dang.
from us, each one of us.
Somebody else go first.
my resume's on LinkedIn.
It really is. Look him up.
No,
It has his phone number on it.
shut up. Anyway, one piece of advice. I would say slow down.
That's a good piece of advice.
I'd say have 3 official podcasts.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with that. Yeah, that's a good
Let's
option.
do that.
I can't.
Piper?
Honestly, I really can't think of anything. I know. Come back to me. I'll let you guys swing through. I'll try to
Okay.
think of a real piece.
Piper?
My suggestion, my word to Funko is going to be you need to start listening to us because we know what is best for you and
Humble.
No,
Jesus, man, I can't
honestly-
reach him up there.
honestly, I think what it comes down to is Funko needs to start listening to older collectors. There's a lot of things that we have been shouting about, and it feels like sometimes, most of the time, all the time, it falls on deaf ears. I think that it would be good for them if they listen to.
No, I agree. I get that.
If they listen to what we're asking for, and obviously not doing everything we're saying, but like keep us in mind. Don't be so concerned with the expansion, the growth. Worry about retaining those older collectors because in the long run, it will be, I think, the smart option.
So you're saying listen less to their board of directors.
Yeah,
Thoughtful.
Yeah.
I would like to see more
That's
care.
honestly what it is.
That's what it is.
I would
That's
like
what it
to
is.
see more care about the fans and less about the bottom dollar. And I know they're a business, and that's hard to say, but there
It
is
is, but some people do it.
there's a medium. I mean, there is. You need to have that middle ground.
You really do.
There you go.
Yeah, and I would say, Josh, you got a lot of pressure. You're going to end everything, so your piece of advice should be good.
I
would
thought of
say-
it. I thought of it.
Okay, all right, you're last then. I'd say stick to your roots, and it's along the lines with what you said, Piper. One of the things to caveat on there is we like to see limited convention exclusive pieces, but I love the way that you did with Toucan Sam, and you didn't let anyone know it was 1,000 pieces until it went on the site. That is what you have to do more of.
Yeah.
More
Right.
of the those ambiguous releases. Hey, this is going to release. Oh well, it hit 11 o'clock. There's only 1,000 of them, and I know it's not foolproof, but hey, I think that was leaps and bounds ahead of announcing, hey, it's 1,000. It's dropping at 1 o'clock. The end. So I would say stick to your roots. You know your collectors. You know what you're strong at. You know what you're good at. Find those licenses that everybody wants and limit the expansions and focus on what you do best, and that is producing products that we all love. All right, Josh.
So I think they should put some real time effort and love into the app.
I was thinking the same thing.
I-
They could do all their drops through the app.
They could do the drops to the app. We could see some kind of awesome reward system, even if it's just fake points to make you feel good. Anything that I think no, don't get me wrong, I don't hate it. It's come a long way, right?
Yeah.
But I think the app is something that's going to really usher them into 2020 and help them hit all the points with new collectors, old collectors, and they can really keep it streamlined and help things out by working on the app. Bam.
That was a really good point. I really like that. I think that's good where we're at. So in 2020, we're going to be back. We're going to be at Emerald City Comic Con. All of us, all 4 of us, we'll get
Yes,
together
sir.
again. We'll do another podcast. Maybe I can get a
Not a
fancy
panel.
hotel conferencers.
Yeah, no.
Blame Mike on that one. It's all Mike's fault.
We'll just do it. We'll just go out on the patio and start doing it. What are they going to do? Tell us to leave?
we literally crash the Funko Funcast. Just sit up on the stage with them.
Just push everybody, or just push them
That'd
off
be
the
funny.
stage.
That'd be funny.
Get out
Hey
of here.
guys, we're here. But I'm excited for 2020, as I know you guys are. And as we go into the holiday season, close out this year, happy holidays to all your listeners, to you guys. And
Thanks,
look
you
forward to
too.
Same
2020.
to you guys. Yeah, we'll see you next year.
See you guys next year, guys.
The worst. I hate it when people do that.
All right, let's do some drops. Where can people find you guys?
We're everywhere.
Grinder.
Yeah, Grindr.
All those memes you put up
One
on
time-
Facebook.
Yeah.
Just Taco Pops everywhere. We lucked out, and when we did the name change, we were able to get all of the social media handles.
All the domains.
all
There
them
you go.
domains.
Talking Pops everywhere. Or you can find us at Pop Alliance Pod on Twitter and Instagram, and always email us at info@popcollectorsalliance.com. Until next time, I'm Rick.
I'm Piper.
I'm Josh.
We're us, Mike.
Good night.
You threw us off.
Don't blame us.
It's all on you. Have a good one.
You pause the stream.
Bye, boys.
Stream